Hi guys, I can't be with you in class today, but we have a ton of important things to do. First, make sure you start out by opening up browsers and doing all of these things right here. Once we get started, the first thing you're doing is going to tinyurl.com right here to this website. And it should bring you up to this. Also out, you should have your purple rubric, which is rubric 1 we need for modeling. I'm going to just be using this example right here. All of my rubrics are put together, but you should be looking at your purple rubric sheet. I'd like you to start out at your table by reading the 5th slide. And I will tell you right away, the 5th slide is not a good example. This would probably be a 1 or maybe even a 0.5. This is not showing proficiency. But what I'd like you to do is talk at your group and say, why is this not showing proficiency? I put a rubric right here for you to look at, and also you should have out your purple rubrics. So again, read this and talk using the rubric. Now, if you're looking here, this person did not really even attempt to explain anything, and that's developing. They didn't even attempt, okay? They did not interpret. They did not tell me what it meant. They did not make connections between the model and real-world phenomenon. If you notice here, not once do they say initial carrier. They don't say that pink water is a symptom. They don't say that interactions cause this disease to be spread. So there are a lot of things here that are not being met in this rubric. Then, with your group, you have a choice. You can read slide 3 or slide 4. They have the exact same content. The only thing I did is I wanted to show you that on slide 4, I used bullet points to organize versus over here, I just used paragraphs. This right here, guys, is a 3.5. By tomorrow, I'll show you why I can make it a 4. I can make one little tweak and it'll be a 4. It is very solid, but I want you to first with your group read it, and then again use the rubric to explain why. Why is this a strong, proficient to advanced example? After your conversation, I hope things came up like they really explained things and they evaluated and analyzed. They explained what it meant. They gave some data. They said an initial carrier spread it to 15 people in our class. They said they didn't know they were spreading around an illness. It was free of symptoms. They were explaining. They also talked about the limitations, which is advanced right here. Okay, they said this was a good model, but it wasn't perfect. So they were talking about what was wrong with it. The reason this isn't all the way a 4 is because they didn't necessarily talk about the big question. Okay, they kind of hint at the big question, which is how can we prevent our good friends from getting sick? But they don't explicitly say that. So they might want to talk about, to prevent your friends from getting sick, you would want to not have interactions with sick people. So that would make it a solid 4. When you come here on Wednesday to take your summative assessment, I will be giving you a writing prompt. And your cell writing hopefully will look a little bit like this. And let me just go over what I did. Here's a little introduction where I explained what the model was. This was a cup simulation we did. You're going to explain your model. What did you make? Why did you make it? What materials? Tell me why your model is good. What's strong about your model? What maybe isn't good about your model? And then right here at the bottom, that's where you'd wrap it up. I put a way you could improve the model. You might relate it back to the big question so you can be advanced. This is kind of like your conclusion. We will talk about this one more time tomorrow, but again, I'm really hoping you're looking at these examples and figuring out how are you going to use this kind of a structure to show your understanding of your cell model.